Hello, welcome to the Confidence to Start. Before we actually get started, though, I want you to do me a favor. Go ahead and grab a pen, some paper, maybe your iPad, whatever you like to take notes on, because I believe during this talk, there's going to be some things that come up for you. And I want you to be able to capture every single one of your thoughts. Also, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, lock your door, tell everyone not to bother you, because I want you to maximize these next 20 minutes and really take some time for you as I share. Next, on your notes, I want you to write, why did you even sign up for this summit? What are you hoping to gain from it? What are you looking forward to? And as you're doing that, allow me to introduce myself. Hello, I'm Coach Cherise. As I said, I'm a coach, I'm a communicator, speaker. I'm the CEO of Rise and Shine 6012. And most importantly, I'm a child of God. And this is my family, my mother, my brother, my nieces, and nephews, who are all super important to my life. Now, what you can expect from this talk is to identify some areas that you can focus on to really get that confidence to start. You're going to gain practical skills, learn some proven techniques to overcome that fear that sometimes holds us back. You're going to develop more self-assurance in your ability to achieve your desired outcome and receive some valuable resources and tools to continue honing in on your skills after this presentation ends. So I wonder, have you ever found yourself sitting and thinking and just yearning with the thought of there has to be more to life than this, or there's more that I want to do, there's more that I want to accomplish, but you just seem lost and you're not quite sure how to get that going, how to start? Well, trust me, if you said yes or nodded your head, you are not alone. Many of us have things that we want to achieve, that we desire to do, but oftentimes we lack the confidence to start. So, something that I believe has been a reason why many of us are not doing the things we feel that we're called to do is because we have fear or nervousness. Perhaps we're concerned about judgment from others or criticism. Maybe you have your own self-doubt and you're struggling with that imposter syndrome. Thinking, yeah, I want to do it, but who am I to do it? Or I can't really do this or can't really do that. Or maybe you have concerns about making a mistake because who wants to make mistakes, right? Or maybe it's like, I'm just too stressed out when it comes to doing anything because I feel like I have to be perfect. That was definitely me. I don't know if you can relate, but that was definitely me. Feeling like I have to be perfect. Or perhaps you tried something before and it didn't turn out the way you thought. Maybe you felt like you failed. And now you're like, I don't want to go through that again, that pain of failing. Maybe it's because it's just you. And you find yourself looking at other people and comparing yourself to them and thinking, I don't look like her. I can't speak like him. Oh, I don't dress like that. Or I could never do what they do. Or maybe you're feeling like, I just don't have the skills or training to actually be successful. Well, it's all you. And you're like, I don't want the spotlight on me. I don't really want all the attention. But I know that if you are here today, if you are listening to my talk, there's more in you. There's more that you want to do. There's more that you want to accomplish. And I would say there's more that God is calling you to do. So, as I said, I can relate. I know what it's like to have that pressure of feeling like I have to be perfect. I know what it's like to feel like, oh, this is all going to fall on me, or I don't do it like that person. I can totally relate to those things. So, what I had to do was implement the C4 method in my life. That allowed me to be able to blow up my old ways of thinking in order to move forward and have the confidence to start and do some new things. And so I want to tell you a little about my C4 method and how that has totally changed my life and allowed me to accomplish some great things. And I believe that it can help you do the same. So first I want to talk about the fifth C, which is confidence. I know you're like, Cherise, I thought you said there were four C's. There are, but those four C's are what helps you to get to the fifth C, confidence. So the first thing to think about is, what is confidence? Well, for me, when I think about confidence, I think about a butterfly. I know that may seem a little strange to you, but I believe that confidence is a journey. And just like the life of a butterfly, it goes through a cycle. It has different things that it has to do, to overcome, to endure. There's time before the wings are fully developed and the butterfly is flying. But I believe in each stage of your journey, you can develop more and more confidence. However, if you never start, you'll never get to where your wings are open and you're flying. So, in the confidence journey, I believe that confidence is all about confide equals trust. So, do you trust yourself? Do you trust your abilities? Do you trust the God that created you? The God that put that idea in your mind and in your heart, that yearning that you have to do that thing, to start that business, to do a new project, to start speaking on stage, to start giving back, to do that nonprofit, whatever it is that God has given you. Do you trust the plan that God has for your life in order for you to be able to achieve and to succeed? Do you trust yourself to carry out that plan? And if you're like, Cherise, I don't really know if I trust myself, I want you to begin to trust what God has placed on the inside of you and to know that there's some untapped things in you that it's time for you to pull out. It's time for you to allow God to use you in the way that He wants to. So the first C is clarity. Go ahead and write that down. Clarity. And as a coach, one of the things that I know is it's so important for you to get clear on what you're doing and who you are and things of that nature, right? And with coaching, it's my job with the clients that I work with to ask them these thought-provoking questions to help them to unlock what's inside of them and what they're supposed to do next. So I want to give you some questions to ask yourself. Number one, who am I outside of my roles? Oftentimes, when someone says, Hi, who are you? What you begin to do is talk about all the things that you do, right? Oh, I'm a mom, or I'm a daughter, or I'm a wife, I'm a teacher. But there's more to you than your roles. What are your goals? What is it that you're trying to accomplish, that you're trying to do? Think about that. Who do I desire to be? Because I personally had someone that I saw myself being, but I was like, how do I get to that point? Right. But if I can't visualize it, if I can't begin to see it, I won't be able to put the steps in place to get to that desired outcome. And what do I desire to do? What are those things that I'm yearning to experience and yearning to try and yearning to create? Right. So go ahead. If you didn't get to write all these down, go ahead and take a screenshot of this. You can come back and ask yourself these questions later. The second C. The second C is courage. Now, I know courage is a interesting word, right? Because it's like, what do you think about when you think of courage? Well, for me, I think that we have to have courage in order to start something. And so here are some areas in which you can develop and have courage in. First, putting yourself first. I know that's tough, right? Because oftentimes we feel like we're just people of service and we need to help our ministries. We need to help our families. I have to serve my children or my spouse or what have you, right? And I'm not saying that there aren't times where you're going to sacrifice and, you know, not be able to do exactly what you want to do. However, what I am saying is you have to be able to start putting yourself first in certain things, right? Like even right now, taking that moment to say, hey, I put my phone on do not disturb. I'm putting myself first right now in this moment to accomplish something, to gain some knowledge. I want you to start using the power of your yes and your no. I feel like yes and no are two of the most powerful words we could ever use. And oftentimes people struggle saying no. Can you relate? They ask you to do it, you say yes all the time, right? But what happens when you begin to say no? I believe that when you say no, no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain your no. You don't have to give any type of, oh, I have to say no because I have this to do as well. No, the answer is just simply no. And no allows you to say yes to yourself. So when someone says, can you do this? And you really don't want to, saying no to them means you're saying yes to yourself. I want you to take a risk of doing something new or different. Go ahead and just try it, right? And be willing to have those tough conversations, not only with yourself, but with others as well. Meaning, hey, I need this resource, or hey, I need this time to myself, or hey, Cherise, you know what? You've been procrastinating, right? So you need to be honest with yourself, have that tough conversation with you, but also have that tough conversations with those around you to allow you to go further and faster. And also with your courage, I know we talked earlier about failing. Have the courage to fail, but then fail differently. What I mean is, I believe you only fail if you don't learn a lesson. I believe you only fail if you quit and you stop, right? So if you failed at this, tweak things, try again. Maybe it'll work, but if it doesn't, you fail differently and you'll learn from that as well. So Psalms 139 and 14 is a scripture that I love. And that passage is a really good passage, that whole Psalms 39, right? And it talks about how God made us. And a lot of people talk about how we were fearfully and wonderfully made. Well, I want to read for you the NLT version of Psalms 139 and 14. And it says, thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. And that version, the NLT version, always makes me think about I am a complex person. There's different parts of me, there's different thoughts, there's different things that I want to try, but God made me that way. We know in Genesis 1, God is the creator and God made us in his image, right? So if God is a creator, so are we. It's time for us to start stepping up and creating and doing some new things. So as I told you, I went through the C4 method in my own life. And today I can't give you all parts of the C4 method, but I wanted to give you some nuggets that will help you to understand that you can have the confidence to start. So as I said, I began to implement these things in my life, and I knew that I wanted to start a business. And so I just started it. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I got started working. And as I got started working, some great things began to happen in my life. And I want to share some of those with you. So here you see me speaking as a keynote for a graduation. You see that I've been able to be featured on some podcasts, and doors just have opened for me. Right there, you see me blowing that confetti because I was celebrating getting to 1,000 followers on Instagram. And social media can be tough for some people. And you're like, I don't know if I can show up that way. I wasn't sure that I could, but guess what? I did it anyways. Here again, you see that I've been asked to be a part of panels and do some speaking engagements. I've also been able to be featured in some different publications. And right there in the corner, that's a few years ago, but that's me and my nieces, where I was able to win a pitch competition. I won second place in that pitch competition. Who thought someone who just had a yearning to have a business would be able to stand in front of this room of strangers and friends and talk about their business, talk about what they want to do, what they aspire to do, and how they want to impact the world and to actually win money for it. But it took me having the confidence to start. It took me having to build up that courage. It took me getting clear on some of the things that I wanted to do in my business in order for me to get to that point. And I've been able to impact some wonderful women. These are just a couple of photos of some of the ladies that I have been able to work with and coach. And to think, I went from sitting and just having this idea about some things I want to do to be able to now work with different women and help inspire them to do the things that they want to do. I've been able to help coach with a coach of mine to help men and women to run their businesses, to start online businesses. And it's like all it took was me having some faith in me, having some faith in who God has called me to be, and trusting God to align my path, having the courage to fail and fail new. And so I want to encourage you to continue to think about the things you want to do, but also put some action behind them. And in addition to that, I've also been asked to come on and pitch other women, help them with their pitching, right? And so these photos right here are just a couple of ladies that I was able to work with. And one of the ladies that I helped coach actually also won second place in the pitch competition that she was in. And so when I think about it again, going from an idea that I had to being able to assist others to do things that I've been able to do, it's such a joy. But none of this would have happened if I never had the confidence to start. So right now, do me a favor. In your notes, I want you to write down, what has been your biggest takeaway so far? What is that thing that has been said or that thought that's come up in your mind as I've been speaking? What is that idea that just popped back up in your brain that you kind of forgot about, or that you kind of said, I don't know if I'm actually going to do that? Go ahead and write that down now, because I want you to keep that and I want you to revisit it and start making a plan around that and really actually start, right? What's the first step that you can take towards achieving that thing that you've been afraid or hesitant about starting? So I know our time is coming to an end, but I would love for you to connect with me. And one way you can do that is by downloading this free resource. You can go ahead and take a screenshot of the screen now so that you can go back to it later, or feel free to go ahead and go to bit.ly, all lowercase, // actually, confidence hacks. And this is just a free downloadable resource for you. And it also allows you to get on my email list to connect with the things that I'm doing. So that way you can learn those other C's that have helped me to really change my life and to begin to put some things in practice and begin to impact and inspire and help others to move forward, help others have that confidence to start, that confidence to start their business, that confidence to be a better speaker, that confidence to just allow some doors to open for them to increase their income and to try new things. So I am Coach Cherise. This has been the Confidence to Start. I am elated that you are here at this summit. I am so excited about all that you are going to be able to achieve and that you are going to begin to go forth with confidence. So again, make sure you download your free confidence hack resource. Go ahead and scan the QR code or go to the website or take a screenshot for later. I thank you for your time and I pray blessings upon you and all that you do. Have a great day.